what you're gonna do, my cards blew away. What you're gonna do is, hold on. So I'm back with another video, and this one's gonna be about learning your multiplication facts and division facts, because it's a non-negotiable for any math you're doing. You just gotta know them, you gotta memorize them. And I know so much of what people talk about is like, memorization is bad, da, da, da. But there's a place for it. There's a time and a place for it, and knowing basic addition, subtraction facts and multiplication and division facts is just a non-negotiable, because as you move on to higher level math like pre-algebra, algebra, etc., right? When you have to do higher level computations, you don't want to be spending time doing steps that require you to multiply two single digit numbers, you know? So that's that. But the crazy thing is, you don't have to make it boring. Like, you don't have to sit here and do worksheets that are like 5 times 5, 10 times 10, 10 times 10. I mean, you can. That's one. Not saying don't do that, but I've been thinking about 3 creative ways that you could do it using playing cards. And these actually, you can do them alone. Obviously, I'll show you what they look like alone, but it would be more fun if you do it with friends, and you can kind of make it like a fun game between, and I'll show how you could do that too, for example. So the first way you can do this, and let me, so the first way you can do this is, let me see. So like if I'm doing it alone, the first game is just gonna be straight up multiplication facts. So what you can do is sit here and go like, hope you can see, so like 5 and 7. And this is kind of cheating, so maybe flip them over so you can't see and then do that. So we got 7 and 4, so that's 28. So what you can do is just go through the whole deck of cards and then just multiply as needed. So 5 and 10, that's 50. 6 and 10, that's 60. And face cards count as they do like in casino games. So like blackjack, this is a 10. So yeah, face cards and the number 10 are 10. So ace and 6, 6, because ace is 1. Count aces as 1, right? So you just go through and you can time yourself. I mean, that will make it fun, because then you can shuffle the cards, and then, I mean, you can just try to beat your time. So for game 2, we're going to be working on division and long division, division facts. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 cards, take 3 cards. So 5, I did a 5, a 7, and an 8. So we'll make that number our dividend. So 578, but 578. So you can see that, and then the next card we draw is what? A 3. So that's going to be our divisor. So if we do that long division here, 3, 27, 9, 27, 8 is 2, 6. So when we do that long division, we get 192, 192 with a remainder of 2. So what you can do is go through the deck, and you can make the numbers as long as you want. Like, say you wanted to do like 541, I mean, make it higher, 5,413 divided by 3. Or you could do it divided by 310, right? So you can go through do that and work on your long division. So the last game, game 3, is going to be a matter of, we're going to still be doing division, but what you're going to do is lay the cards out like game 2. So I got a 10, an 8, and a 6. So that's going to be 1,086, right? That's going to be our dividend. And then what you're going to do is draw 1 or 2, right? Remember, you make the number however big you want it to be. And I don't want to do 10 because that's easy. Because you just move the decimal over. So let's say 1, I got an ace and a 5, so 15. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, before you do the long division, you're going to say, is 1,086 divisible by 15? And no, it's not. And you may think, how did I get that so fast? Well, it comes down to knowing your divisibility rules. And this is a good way to learn them, or like practice them, because there are specific rules for each number to say, hey, this number 1086 is divisible by 15 is not. And something being divisible by something means that the number goes into it evenly without a remainder. Let's just say this is 5, not 15, right? Anything, think of the multiples of 5. 5 times 1, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3, 15. 5 times 4, 20. So it's alternating between anything that ends in a 0 or a 5. So 1086 doesn't end in a 0 or 5, so it's not going to be divisible by 5. Bam. See how crazy that is? And there's a whole class called number theory that we don't get to take in high school or learn about at all. I suggest, if you're interested, if that seems fun to you, look into number theory, and it's a whole class that's about like divisibility and prime and composite numbers, etc., etc. Let's just 1086 is 1086 divisible by 5. So what you do is either call out yes or no, and you want to be able to, like, obviously learn the divisibility rules by doing the game. So if you need them at first, you can use them, but then after time you want to not be using them, and you want to kind of think about it as time goes on. You want to have learned a few of them, or at least know like 1 to 10, not 1, but 2 to 10, and 11 too, because 11's cool. But 2 to 10 is a good way to start. So once I was really interrupted by the freaking wind. So 1086, right? So then what you're going to do is, okay, you put your card down and then you say, okay, is 1086 divisible by 5? I said no, and it's not. But then verify your answer. If you make a guess, you want to verify your answer by doing the long division. So if we do that long division, we will get a number with a remainder, because it's not 36, 7, 5. So you should get 217 with a remainder of 1. And so that's game 3. So you want to go through, and then you can do another set. And once again, you can make the number as big as you want. Like if you want to challenge yourself, like you can do 10, 8, 10, 7. So that's what? 10, 8, 10, 7. 108,107 divided by, you can do a single digit, 7. Or you can go higher, right? And I actually forget the divisibility. The divisibility rule by 7 is like one of the harder ones. I think you got to add them up. If like the sum of like the last two or whatever, right? Refer to your divisibility rules to begin with. I mean, just look over them, and then, you can start to recognize patterns too if you do it enough, right? So, and if you start with smaller numbers, it helps. So this game is good because you can control that. You can do 2 numbers if you want, divided by 1, etc., etc. However many digits you want to do. So I just thought that was a fun way to introduce multiplication facts, division facts, because it's so crucial. Like I said in the beginning, it's so crucial to just your time in math, because you don't want to be stuck on those multiplication facts when you have to do an algebra problem and do 5 other steps, because as you get into higher level math, problems are going to require more steps. So those first steps you need to be able to do pretty quickly. So moral of the story is you can make these fun. Like, I was doing it alone, and I'm weird like that, so I would have fun with this alone. But say you wanted to play with others, a cool way you can do these with others. So for example, that first game, right? You could have, maybe someone can be neutral even. You could have, say you're playing with 3 people, have someone be like the dealer almost, and you can say, okay, if you face off against someone else, and then the dealer's gonna put down the 2 cards in the middle of both of you, and then whoever says it first, like, wins that set of cards. So say I'm dealing it to 2 people and you get like this, 8 and 6. So whoever says 48 first gets to take these cards. And then at the end, you have to think which player has the most pairs in their possession, they will win the game. So you could put with a lot of people and even make it like an elimination thing, something cool like that, whatever. Just ideas you can do. And for the second one, right, the second and third game, right, you can make it fun with doing higher numbers, like I said earlier. Or specifically for that third game, when you're doing when you have your big number here, right, now you can make it where everybody's kind of learning, because you can say, hey, have everyone put in their guess for like yes or no and track that. And then you do the long division, and then if you know like one of the divisibility rules, you can kind of explain that to the group. So it's kind of like teaching it to everyone, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, so you're kind of learning together. But yeah, so I just want to say that, and make your learning fun always.